YouTube, what's up? It's Force Bolt. Have a commentary for you right now. It is not going to be over a game. It's going to be over basically some screens because I'm going to talk about a few things. I'm going to talk about tips and tricks for the transfer market so that you guys can make money really easily on it. And then I'm just going to kind of talk about my team that I built from it. So as you can see here, transfer profit. I have made a little over 2.5 million coins on the transfer profit, and that is the secret to my team that I do have, which we will check out right now before I give some tips on the transfer market. Alright, so I run a 4-3-3. It is a BPL Bundesliga hybrid. I got Percy, Hazard, Robin up top, Schweinsteiger and Torre in the middle for size, Di Maria bringing up that cam for his speed, the two big men in the back, Hummels and company, and they got Piszczek out right, and Felipe Luis out left, and then of course Neuer in net. My bench is also pretty stacked. Courtois, Aguero, Iniesta, Silva, Modric, Zabaleta, Boateng. The bench doesn't really fit my chemistry, but I find it doesn't matter because when you bring a player into the game, they're not as affected by it. And yeah, it works really well. This team is probably the best team I've ever had on Ultimate Team, besides maybe FIFA 13, because I had 3 Team of the Year players. I had Team of the Year Percy, Team of the Year Carrick, and Team of the Year Ferdinand. And, no, that was last year. Last year I had Team of the Year Rooney and Team of the Year De Gea. So, or Team of the Season, sorry. So hopefully I'll get some good Team of the Season players at the end. But I'm going to start saving now for those basically, because I have no one else to buy. And how I've done that is flipping players on the transfer market. So right now I only have 10,000 coins, so I can't do it very efficiently. But what you got to do is you have to look for players that are going to be sold. So off the top of my head, a player everyone wants. I mean, you got to look for players with speed, especially in this game, because they're the ones they want. The more expensive the player, the more you'll actually be able to make. Like, the players that cost around 100,000, like, let's see, Di Maria, let's look him up. I think he's like 150 maybe? Oh no, he has gone way up since I bought him. He is rocking in the high 200s. But as you can see, as I'm scrolling through, there is a wide range of prices that he's going for sale for. And that's what you want. You want players like this one right here, the only one going for 260. And I'm sure you'll be able to find a few that are going for even less than that. See, there you go, 230. The bid's at 245. So you want to look for these players that cost more. I mean, obviously you'll have to start with lower costs first. But these players that cost with wide ranges, you get the ones that cost lower. You bid on them. You want to buy them as low as possible. And then what you're doing is you're going to sell them for 10% more than that. So there's this cool website called FUT, which has a calculator in it, which will tell you what money you're going to get if your card sells for a certain price, because FIFA actually takes a coin tax out of your cards that you sell. So you have to keep that in mind, because if you were to sell it for the same price you bought it for, thinking, oh, maybe I'll make a few thousand, you won't make any because of that tax that's going to be taken out. So you gotta go find players like that, use FUT, it helps a lot because it'll give you where you need to set it in order to make your money back. And I suggest buying players at around 2 to 3 a.m. Some of you might not be up that late, but that's when I do it, because at that point nobody's really up in the UK yet, and everybody has gone to bed in the US, which are the 2 big places where it's played, or at least in the East, the main majority of it. Out West, it'd be like 11 midnight, but still not that many people on the market. And that's the best time to bid for players because no one else is bidding really against you. A few people will, but not as many. So yeah, it is a really good time to bid then. And then you want to sell between like 4 and 7, because that's when it's really the biggest on the transfer market. The transfer market's just being pounded by people, with all the people staying up later in the UK, and then of course the afternoon rushes for the entire US. So that's the best times to make money. Starting low, like I have 10,000 right now, and a good player, let's see, I think Sturridge is down. Sturridge is someone a lot of people buy. So he's, look at this, he's hopping between the 20s and the teens. But you see how no one is bidding for this player, but a lot are up that high? That's actually good for you, because you're gonna see here, someone's bidding 14. Well, if you come in at night, you'll be able to get someone who put it on the market for a little bit less, like the people who put it for 14 or the people who put it for 13. You're gonna buy that card and then put it on in the middle of the day, at like 17 or 18. And a buy now is really important as well. If you put a buy now that's close to your start price, it's actually more likely to be bought. So say for this player, you buy him, I'd buy him for around 13, no more than 14,500 if you're gonna make money off him. And then you're gonna sell him during the day for say 17,000 bid with a 18,500 buy now. And then you'll end up, if you get that 18,500, which with this type of player you more than likely will, you'll end up getting like, I think it'd be like 16 something out of it, so you made a few thousand. And you use that and you slowly work your way up. The more expensive the player, the more you're gonna make. La Liga players are really good to do this with. So say like, I think Iniesta's a good example. Iniesta, huge range of prices. Yeah, right now they're pretty consistent. But he's a player I flipped a lot off on the beginning. Because especially, at the beginning of the game, prices really fluctuate, so you'll be able to get him for, say, in the 50s, like this person is, and then during the busy parts of the day, you sell him for 60 something, and then you'll make a few thousand off that. And you just gotta keep doing that over and over. It takes a lot of patience and work. I suggest going into the catalog and expanding your transfer market. I have all 50 available slots, and when I'm doing this, I use all 50 of them off cheaper players. A lot of cheaper players are more expensive players. You can see there's actually a really good way to do this. If you look for, say, just search any, you'll get these players like this, and there will be times where people will put them up for less than what they sell for. So say you get a player like this, the current bid's 350. Well, if you go in the middle of the night, current bid could be like 150, and this player is going to sell on a quick sell for 76, I think is like 302 coins. So you'll make money just off quick selling, and that's another really good way to do it. One last tip about this before I call this video quits is pay attention to when the transfer market's being used a lot. They have a lot of promotions that go on, and those are the best times to go into the transfer market and buy. You can just buy a ton of players, and then you sell them at a later date. So it would be like the Team of the Year cards just went on. I was buying a lot of players. That's how I made a bunch of money to finish off this team, because I was buying a bunch of players when everybody was doing that, because everybody buys the promotional packs with money, so the market gets flooded with players. Well, once you buy them all and the market starts to like even back out, that's when you go in and sell them, and you're gonna make more money off it. Like I said, Di Maria, when I bought him, he was like I don't know if he was 150. He might have been more expensive, but I've seen him for 150. Let's see how much I bought him for. Bought for 185, and he was selling for 300. So realistically, if I wasn't using him, I'd just sell him, and I made 100,000 coins. That's the type of stuff you have to look out for, because people's costs fluctuate a lot. So that's something you really should look at. And as you guys can see, if you look in the top left-hand corner, you can see my record. I've only played, what, like 70-something games at this point, 77 games. That's nothing. But I still have this great team because of working the transfer market. I have spent money. I spent $20 at the very beginning of the game, which is something I suggest to you if you're getting started to Ultimate Team. I do it every time a game comes out, because that $20 helps get you a team that you can use to boost yourself and, you know, just run through the division. So yeah, I don't think I'm very high. I think I'm only like Division 6 right now. Yeah, Division 5, because I haven't played that many games. A lot of those games in my record are online single matches. I play my friend Eli a lot, and then a few other friends as well. So yeah, you know, stick to transfer market, work it. You will get better at it, I promise. And it can make you a lot of money to get you a great team like this. So that is my tips for today. And YouTube, I'm out.